Call. The cost of buying your freedom. You have to swim from the inside, which is too simple. If you are able to swim, it's like around 1810. 1807, and British Parliament passed the law to abolish the slave trade, to stop the slave trade. So when this law was passed in 1807, around 1810, the British Navy brought a cannon here, which is this cannon, to stop illegal slave traffic. But the cannon has never been fired. So according to history, it was around that period slaves were asked to buy their freedom. If anyone can swim from James Island, which is 3 sea miles, and you are able to swim across the river, you touch this flagpole. But this one is a replica. The original one is in the form of wood that was right there. So that if anyone can swim and touch it, you are guaranteed free. But none of these slaves were able to do this. They don't know how to swim, they don't have the energy of swimming. More than 300 of them, they were all drowned into the water. So some of them prefer to die in the water than to be a slave. So that's the reason why we have the freedom flag.
Move, cameraman!
My brother, excuse me over there. There's a space for you here. My brother, there's a space for you in here. Would you mind coming All right, cameraman, I think if you can get your symbol at one side so that Lamin was able to start Lamin.
Okay, now on behalf of the Ministry of Tourism and Culture, the National Council for Arts and Culture, the organizing committee of the 11th edition, the organizing committee of the 11th edition of the International Roots Festival, and of course our brothers and sisters, delegates from the diaspora who actually come to join us to celebrate this edition of the Roots Festival. You're all welcome into the Kinteh clan family. Actually, it's from this compound where Kunta Kinteh was born. And he used to live in this compound. He was brought up here until one day he was captured into slavery. And when he was captured from Juffureh here, he was transported to the Fort James Island. But from the Fort James Island, the people of this village, they have no more information about Kunta Kinteh until when Alex Haley came to trace his ancestral family in 1967. Then we are able to know that he was transported to America. Now, ladies and gentlemen, since Kunta Kinteh was transported, we used to have the 7th generation great-granddaughter of Kunta Kinteh, and that was the late Kunta Kinteh. She survived for almost 100 years, and then actually she died on the 2nd of April 2004. This year was 10 years since Kunta Kinteh died. So you can see her picture right here, and that's the bigger picture right here in front of you. So if we could have done something to stop her death, we would have done it, but it's something natural and it's something that has to happen So we cannot definitely stop that. But Binta Kinteh was a great woman. She has stand for this family, to maintain the history of this family. And it's great not only to the people of this family, but to the entire village of Juffureh, the entire North Bank, and of course, the entire Gambia, even Africa at large. Her husband also was the custodian of the history of this family. Like you all know, African history has never been written. In those days, it's oral tradition. That is the most important part of our history. It's normally narrated by words of mouth from generations to generation. So that history of Kunta Kinteh came down far way back until the generation of Binta Kinteh. And everything was kept by her husband, Keba Kanyi Fofana. And it was that man who narrated the history to the writer Alex Haley when he was here in 1967. And Alex Haley was able to write the book Roots and produce the film in 1977. So before I go further, I would like to introduce the members of that family to you, the present generations of Kunta Kinteh. Those are the 8 generations, great-grandchildren of Kunta Kinteh today. So first we have Ajaratu Mariama Fofana. She's the lady in charge today, and she's now in her 60s now. And Aja Mariama Fofana here succeeded her mother on the throne as the 8th generation great-granddaughter of Kunta Kinteh. So Aja Mariama Fofana is also a daughter to Keba Kanyi Fofana. So without her father, Alexei would not have been able to write the book or even produce the book Roots. So Aja Mariama Fofana is actually a daughter to Binta Kinteh, and of course a daughter to Keba Kanyi Fofana. Her parents actually are the main figures behind this history. And the other lady is Ancha, is also a relation of us. She is also part of the 8 generations. And of course we have Fatu Kinteh. She is also part of the 8 generations. And Fatu Kinteh is in her early 70s now. So normally in the family here is Adia Mariama Fofana and Fatu Kinteh that normally are seated here to represent the whole family. And we have Mbin Kinteh. She is also part of the generations of Kunta Kinteh. And of course we have Demba Kinteh. So ladies and gentlemen, for such an occasion, it's very rare to find the whole family here. But for such an occasion, they all has to be present today. So in a nutshell, this family belongs to the Mandinka tribe, and originally they are from Mali. They left Mali to Mauritania simply to become Muslims. That's where they studied the Quran. As you all know, actually, Islam came into Africa, and of course even Christianity. So initially they were enemies when they were living in Mauritania. So they left they left Mali, where they used to be enemies, to Mauritania. Then from Mauritania, after studying the Quran for 12 years, the Quran is the book of Islam. So their Kunta Kinteh's grandfather became a Marabu. He was called Kairaba Kunta Kinteh. This man was studying with a man called Sheikh Abdul Kunta, and he was very knowledgeable in the Quran. So with the knowledge he had, he was going around the sub-Saharan Africa to talk to people about the Muslim faith. So that brought him to the Gambia. When he came in this country, he was living on the southern bank of the river. From the south bank, he crossed the river to this village, Juffureh. On arrival here, he found that the villagers have rains and they do farming to have living. But normally they always have poor harvest. But Kairaba Kunta Kinteh has a Marabu. When he lived with them in this village, his staying here brought blessings to the people of this community. And he was referred as a man of God by the people of Juffureh. And that Kairaba Kunta Kinteh was Kunta Kinteh's grandfather. So this gentleman married 2 wives, Aisa and Sireng. With Aisa they have Omoro Kinteh. Omoro Kinteh was Kunta Kinteh's father. Omoro Kinteh married Binta Keba. Now Kunta Kinteh's mom met a fortune teller who told him that you're going to have a son. And this son is going to become a warrior, but you should call him Kunta after his grandfather. So according to history, ladies and gents, he was born in 1750. At the age of 14, they took him to the bush school, where he became a Mandinka warrior. So that's a bush school. This is why actually nowadays you can never see a Gambian going in a room of an elder with a hat or shoe. These are all signs they taught them in the bush school, which is the circumcision field. So there you saw a bravery of manhood. So there they educate these children about the norms and values of our society. So obviously, before the coming of Western education, we have our own schools here, and we have ways how to educate our children and how to discipline and look after our own children. So ladies and gentlemen, according to history, after the bush school, Kunta Kinteh went to the bush with his colleagues to fetch firewood at San Domingo. That was where he was captured in 1767. It was difficult to capture him. In those days when they saw the white collar, they never seen it before. His colleagues run away. They told him to run, he refused. So he fought. He said he wanted to know what type of human beings those people are. But as the saying goes, one man cannot fight a dozen. He was overpowered, captured, transported across to James Island for 15 days, and then from there to Gore, that's an island in Senegal, and then to Annapolis, Virginia Annapolis, in the United States of America. That's where he was sold in 1767. So there he was sold to John Wheeler. His name was changed to Toby, he denied. They have to cut his toe from his feet when he tried escapes. He married Belle, they have one child, Kissy. Kissy was raped, and she got George. And George used to be a cockfighter. That was Chicken George, who married Matilda. And they got children. Their children got children until Alex Haley. So Alex Haley met Georgia Anderson. Some of you may saw her picture in the museum with Georgia Anderson, who told Alex Haley a lot about this country. He met a Gambian Ibumanga studying in America. And from there, he had this ambition of coming to trace his ancestral family. So ladies and gentlemen, the day Alex Haley arrived here was a great day. People are dancing, somewhere crying that they have a relative all the way from America. They told him that they don't know him, they don't know where they come from. But anyone has a black who march into any compound here and said you are a member, they have to accept you, because you could be part of them, you never know. So ladies and gentlemen, it's a saying my grandmother used to say, that if you throw a piece of wood in the water, even it stays there for 100 years, it can never change to be a crocodile. Yeah. Like the permanent secretary was saying, you know, how it doesn't matter how long you stay in Europe, if you are African, you will ever be African. So on that note, I thank you so much. The history is very wide, but I would like to stop here. And we thank you. We are very grateful to have Matabaruka, our brother, being part of us. We used to have his name, and this family is very proud to be connected with Matabaruka. And of course, for the first time also, we have Sizzla Kolonji in the village of Juffureh, and in fact seated in the family of Kunta Kinteh. It's a honor. As a member of this family, I feel very great today. So you can all feel like home. This is your home. You leave your houses back in Europe or America, but you are back into your own houses. I thank you so much.
Last year first, conquering lion of the tribe of Judah, elect of the light of this world. Now, on behalf of the people in the diaspora, I would like to say thank you very much for having me in this beautiful country, this beautiful village. And I want to say, how great is thy blessings, how warm are thy love, and how outreach are thy arms, reaching out to beautiful children in the Western diaspora. We've long awaited for this occasion, such procession. We duly want to reach. Yes, we really want to reach home, but based on the system of Babylon, it's a bit difficult. So we're trying our best to reach home by any means necessary to unite with you, my brothers and sisters. Haile Selassie, hands in the air. Hands in the air. Kunta Kinteh. No. Thank you, Lord, for the 9 months you carried me through. I've been pain and suffering. No one not to be there, just a hell. Give you all my love for you. Thank you, Lord, for the 9 months you carried me through. All in pain and suffering. No one knows the struggle you bear, just only you. Hey, hey, I miss your praises, child. Hey, well, I want to say thanks again, and I want to say much respect to the President, His Excellency, Yeah, Jamie. Thank you very much for having me here, hosting Sizzla Kolonji and the family of the Western Diaspora. Are we going to return soon? Soon and very soon. It doesn't stop here. It continues. Village of Kunta, Kinteh, maximum respect. You're all my brothers and sisters with one love. No, I say, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, and stand in the ways of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. Continue to be a beautiful nation, beautiful people. I would say on behalf of the elders, who are the vanguards and the custodians for the village, and the people in the villages, I want to extend all my great respect to the chief, to the minister, to the governor, to the collective security, to each and everyone who have managed to make it possible for us being here on behalf of the International Roots Homecoming Festival, the 11th edition. I hope that I'll be here the next 2 years from now. I want to say thank you very much for having me here, and it's a pleasure being here, and I'm at home.
You I really got so much love, love. Dollar bills and coins will fade away. That could never make I proud. Hey, 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 black woman and child. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. For you I really got so much love, love.